baseball movies. One of the main reasons that I even wanted to play Major League Baseball at all. Though we haven't gotten a good baseball movie since 2011's Moneyball, my childhood was absolutely full of them. The Sandlot actually had me make a local Sandlot team with the kids in my neighborhood. Rookie of the Year had me contemplate breaking my arm to see if I could add some velocity. So sure, I know movies aren't real per se, but how realistic are they? And now that I played in the big leagues, I have a pretty good idea what's real and what's not. So today we are going to watch one of my favorite baseball movies of all time, Major League. And I'll break down a bunch of moments and let you know if they're realistic or not really. This is watching baseball movies and determining if they're realistic. Like and subscribe. Check out my live show at 8 a.m. on Monday mornings. And subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Now, if you've lived under a rock, then maybe you haven't seen this one. But in 1989, maybe the greatest baseball movie of all time was released, starring Charlie Sheen, Wesley Snipes, the guy from the Allstate commercials, and a bunch of other people. The movie takes place in Cleveland, Ohio, and follows the Indians, the unanimous pariah of the major leagues and year after year underachiever. The movie opens with, wait, stop this right here. My experience has been there's never been this many people on a road in Cleveland, Ohio, ever. The movie opens with the new owner of the team, wife of the recently deceased owner, presenting her plan for the upcoming season to the rest of the front office. Part of that plan is losing as many games as possible so that the league will let her relocate the team to Miami, where she wants to be.
Miami's offered to build us a new stadium.
Their first order of business was to get a brand new manager, Lou Brown.
How would you like to manage the Indians this year?
I don't know.
Now, I need to establish right now that Lou Brown is the man. He's one of my favorite characters. Like, I'm literally trying to grow his mustache right now. We get a call from the GM to bring him on as a manager, as he is currently the AAA manager for the Toledo Mud Hens. And here we establish how bad the Cleveland organization truly is when a AAA manager is having to think about taking a major league job because it's seen as that bad of a situation. Don't worry though, he does end up taking the job and does become the manager of this year's team. And the first time he gets to meet his players, spring training. Because remember, back then no cell phones existed, so getting a hold of these guys was tough. So oftentimes the manager meets everybody for the first time when they get there. This might be the most accurate part of this movie. Guys literally just driving into the parking lot with whatever the car is that really shows off their station or their experience in the game. So we have Roger Dorn, the prima donna for the team, coming in a Rolls Royce. We got Jake Taylor, a washed up veteran, showing up in a taxi. And then we got Ricky Vaughn showing up on the back of a motorcycle where he apparently hitchhiked here and everything he owns is in a trash bag. Now, I strongly identify with this moment because you can literally see the excitement / nerves on everyone showing up. We got Dorn's all excited and messing around with another veteran on the team, Harris, and he's very clearly has a spot on the team, but you notice the guys who don't, the guys who are there with an outside chance of just really wanting to make the team, they're kind of more quiet and a little more reserved and trying to feel things out. Whenever you join a new team, you got to feel out the vibe and feel out who your guys are going to be, who the guys are going to gravitate more and be your best friends, because you'll go crazy if you just go in there trying to run the place right away. And I think they nailed this part. Now that all of our characters have arrived down in Arizona, it's time to get into a little bit of spring training. In this case, it's basically just a tryout for the team. There's guys trying to show they still got it. There's guys trying to show that their knees aren't shot from prior injuries. And then there's guys that are just trying to make a good first impression. So let's start with Jake Taylor. It was alluded to when he arrived with some dialogue that he had been battling knee injuries. And as a catcher, that can be a death sentence for your career.
I want the absolute truth here. Are you 100%?
Yeah, would I bullshit you about something like that?
You better. You want to make this team.
Second base!
Shit.
Then we get a little hitting montage from Willie Mays Hayes, where as a speed guy, his whole thing is to get on base and steal bases. That's all he really wants to do. He wants to show off his speed, but he can't help but pop it up in BP all the time. Now, this is a big no-no for guys that are contact guys that need to run. This is very old school. This is very traditional baseball. This is very 80s. This is what he's going to be struggling with going into the season. On the other hand, we have Pedro Serrano, who is a big power guy who hits long homers as we see him hitting him off Harris all day. One of my favorite characters as well. But Serrano is very quickly exposed for not being able to hit a breaking ball. Classic archetype. You can hit a fastball, but you can't hit a breaking ball. How are you going to find a way to be successful in the major leagues? And then we go to Ricky Vaughn.
Tell us you're a pitcher. You're sure not much of a dresser.
And it's pretty clear that command, actually not even command, control in general is his problem, but he throws hard. They even say on one of his pitches that he threw at 96, which back in 1989 was extremely hard. If this were 2024, that would be slightly above average. So game's changed a little bit. I think we've been over that. First day of spring training ends, and we have this conversation about red tags or red tickets getting cut on the first day, and you see the fear in the rookie's eyes.
You get a red tag in your locker, means the manager wants to see you because you just died and went down to the minors.
Nothing is more real than this. Guys do not want to get cut and sent home. They also don't want to get cut and sent to the minor leagues. Taylor assures them that cuts don't happen on the first day. Just like you can't make the team on day one, you can't not make the team on day one either.
Hey, don't worry, kid. Ain't gonna cut anybody the first day.
A little bit later in that scene, one of my favorite moments to show you how long doctoring baseballs has been around. We see Harris, the old salty vet, just look at this dude's physique. That's what we call a big league body. Is asked by Ricky Vaughn,
What's that shit on your chest?
Harris replies with Crisco, which is like a shortening brand that is used in baking. So he also mentions how he has jalapeno in the nose. People were putting crap on the ball since the beginning of time.
I haven't got an arm like yours. I gotta put anything on it I can find. Someday you will too.
Me, though? No, I never did that. It's a spider tag. We also get to see some crazy baseball superstitions in play as well. Jobu, Pedro Serrano's little voodoo idol that he creates an altar to and tries to get the luck blessed onto his bat so that he can learn to hit a curveball. I get asked all the time, do you have any superstitions? What are your superstitions? I go, no, not really. I just put my pants on exactly the same way every single day, in the same order with my jersey in the same way. I put on my my icy hot on my arm at the exact same time every day, you know, and I step out the dugout in the exact same order, and I pick up the rosin bag at the exact same way after every inning, and I walk up the mound in the same way. I take my glove off in the same way, and I sit in the same place in the bench between innings. And maybe I have a place I put my glove in the bullpen, and sometimes I sit in the same seat every time, and sometimes my routine is exactly the same. But other than that, and then the scariest day of spring training, cut day.
I don't want to go in there.
We first see a terrified Willie Mays Hayes, unable to look into his own locker, and he has Ricky Vaughn do it. To his great satisfaction, he makes the team, and he goes outside and does a little happy dance. But then Ricky goes and checks his and notices a red tag in his locker. But does he decide to give up? No, he wants to go yell at the manager. Lou lets him rant, lets him go, lights the fire, and then realizes that he didn't cut him and someone's probably messing with him.
I think someone's been having some fun with you.
And in classic Ricky Vaughn fashion, he tries to handle it with his fists. Who doesn't love a silly little prank? Yes, I am wearing new clothes. And maybe, just maybe, the second half of this video recording, didn't record any audio because I had my microphone muted for almost a half an hour. 30 minutes of silence. So here we are, a little anecdote about release day. So they don't do the ticket anymore. There is a day that you can look forward to in spring training, and it is terrifying for a lot of guys. The Phillies did it in a really interesting way. In order to enter the complex in Clearwater, you have to walk by the front office. On cut day, the light for that office was off. When that light was off, they usually just watched to see who was walking by that front door of the offices, and they would poke their head out of that door and be like, hey, can I talk to you? That part really, really sucks. It feels like, am I going to get fired today? And you have a couple of those days every single spring training. It is no fun. And Ricky Vaughn's reaction here makes a lot of sense. That would make me fight the highest paid guy on the team too, because that's bullshit. Yeah, I said it. Good news is everyone made the team. Our stars are all going to be Cleveland Indians for the 1989 Major League season. And what's the first thing that you do when you get up to your city? You go out to dinner with your veterans. And in this case, it's Jake Taylor taking Willie Mays Hayes and Ricky Vaughn out to a really nice restaurant. Man, Cleveland was doing it in 1989. Now, this whole sequence has a stupid backstory with Jake Taylor and a girlfriend and whatever, and we don't really care about that. So let's move forward to the season starting. Shout out to Joe Mauer. Thank you so much for dinner. That was very nice. I love you. As the season's about to start and you see the anxiety on all of the rookies' faces as they prepare for their first Major League game, it is customary for the manager to come and give a speech.
I'm not much for giving inspirational addresses. I'd just like to point out that every newspaper in the country has picked us to finish last. So I'd like to hang around and see if we can give them all a nice big
poop
burger to eat.
I've heard speeches of all kinds over the years, from rah rah, we got this, you guys are good, we can do this, to whatever, just go out and play, do your best. I could not have said that better myself. Let the season begin. I love this montage of all the rookies. Willie catches a pop fly early in the first game, basket catches, gives it a little bit of flavor, and then Lou Brown says this.
Nice catch, Hayes. Don't ever fucking do it again. All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
+1 to the manager's skill. And then later in that game, we have Ricky Vaughn, who is a reliever going into the season. And he has his first outing, which would be where he first gets his nickname of Wild Thing.
Stopping just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Wild Thing! You make my heart sing.
As you can imagine, I identify with this. It's nerve-wracking, you're numb, you can't feel the ball, you've no idea what you're doing, and if a catcher's like, hey, throw this pitch, you're like, yes, sir, I don't know what else to do. Unfortunately, Ricky Vaughn has a little bit of control issues and walks quite a few guys. Where have we heard that before? All night. All 10. All 11. I am Ricky Vaughn in so many ways, at least I like to think that I am, and as the movie goes on, that becomes more and more true.
Look, man, guy gets a second, first sign indicator.
First sign indicator, a set of signs given to the pitcher with a man on second, so they cannot relay them to the hitter. In this case, the first sign given will inform which of the following signs is the pitch. If it's a chasing indicator, the pitch is the one immediately following the next time the indicator is shown. For example, if the first sign given is a 2, you wait for another 2 to be shown and throw the sign that is directly after it. It's simply that easy.
Anywho, back to the slow start to the season for the Indians. Pedro Serrano strikes out all the time. Willie Mays Hayes keeps popping it up, and Ricky Vaughn keeps walking the house.
The only excitement for the Tribe provided by Rick Vaughn, who set an American League record by throwing 4 wild pitches in 1 inning.
Hey, congratulations, Rick.
But, as is the name of the game in Major League Baseball, you gotta make adjustments. And we see adjustments getting made, one of which is really interesting. One day, amongst a really tough stretch for Ricky Vaughn, he's called in the manager's office. And Lou notices Ricky Vaughn cannot see. And when you can't see, it's hard to really lock in to a target, or see signs, or focus on literally anything. And so what is the solution here? Well, glasses. Just he just got some rec specs. Like all you needed was some glasses. I should have tried that. Why did I never try that? I should have just wore glasses. Why didn't I just wear glasses? Tyler Clippard wore glasses. Bet you didn't anticipate a Tyler Clippard reference in this video. Issues with being able to see is actually pretty common in the major leagues. Even in the last couple years, we've had at least 2 guys have to get surgery on some sort of eye issue so they could be able to see. Progressing through a major league season and not realizing that you're not seeing very well is actually way more common than you would think. The movie also includes a scene that I just think is underutilized in baseball these days, but used to be so common in the early days of baseball on television, and that is commercials. In the movie, we see the whole team together wearing tuxedos and wearing their Indians caps, all kind of showing off their own unique personality. We got Ricky Vaughn with no sleeves. We got Willie Mays Hayes sliding in at the end and showing the product.
Don't steal home without it.
And it reminds me of that old Nike commercial from 1999 where the Braves pitchers were all like getting in shape to hit homers. I love this stuff. They need to do it more, bring it back, but it is accurate for sure. Though this isn't a main storyline, a lot of people don't know a lot about this. I noticed it and I think it is hilarious. At one point, Lou Brown is trying to soak in the whirlpool machine, like the little hot/cold tub, and it's broken again. He's frustrated with the organization because they have no money. But it's not about the thing breaking, it's the fact that this technology exactly the same 35 years later. So yes, that is literally the same equipment that we use. And the scene also gave us this line.
Don't you think you ought to cover yourself with a towel first, Mr. Brown?
We're out of towel. And I'm too old to go diving in a locker.
And then, despite all of the obstacles that they have encountered all year, they're still in the thick of it, and their manager believes that they can actually go all the way.
All we need is something to bring it all together.
Because the Major League season is so long, sometimes you need a little bit of extra energy from somewhere else. And sometimes that's rallying behind a symbol. And in this case, their symbol is their owner. She used to be a pinup girl, so there's a lot of risque pictures out there of her, and they decided that they were going to unveil one of these pictures with each win that they get. At the end of the day, their spite for her is what is going to unite them together, and that is the point here. Major League teams are doing this a lot lately, whether it's a home run celebration or it's some other symbol that they're rallying behind. It's very common now. Sometimes you get a little bit of extra from places you didn't expect to get it from. And now that they have their symbol, they're on a run. And when you're on a run, you take care of your body any way possible to stay on the field, including doing treatment while you're traveling. Very real. Cleveland Indians in the pennant, tied going into the top of the 9th inning. They call on the closer, Rick Vaughn. Now, I'm going to get DMCA'd if I try to play the song of him running out. So I'm just going to sing it for you, at least the first snippet. So sure, the walkout song is amazing, but the sequence of events to get this guy out are even better. I can honestly say I have channeled this, and had I never seen this moment in a movie, I don't know if I would have been able to do it in real life. He wants a curveball. No. He wants a slider. No. Give him the heater, Ricky! Fire me up! It's a thing of beauty, and I loved this whole ending. Is one of the most romantic parts about baseball, and I will say that they nailed this, and I love to believe that this whole thing is real. And then we come to the climax of the movie, the very end, the final inning, the bottom of the 9th for the pennant. First, we have Willie Mays Hayes leading off, hitting the ball on the ground, and beating it out to first. Then we have him stealing second, which was his big goal for the year. Then we have Jake Taylor coming up. He even calls his shot to add a little bit of movie magic, and then proceeds to slash bunt as Willie Mays Hayes tries to steal third. He rounds third on the throw to first, and on a close play at the plate, Willie Mays Hayes is safe, and the Indians win the pennant. Man, I love it when the underdog prevails in the end. I absolutely loved this movie as a kid, and that has only gotten stronger as an adult now that I've lived a lot of the things that I saw here. It's very clear that they chose a bunch of actors that had experience playing baseball before. I don't know if you knew this, but it's kind of hard to fake it. And I think overall, they just did an amazing job making it. I truly loved breaking down a movie like this, and I'd love to do it in the future. Let me know down in the comments any other movies I should do. It doesn't even have to be baseball related. We could do all kinds of sports. I watched them all. Trust me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video so you don't miss any in the future, and I'll see you next time on the Trevor May Baseball channel. Bye.